All right, it's a wonderful day to you right here. If you're watching this station right now, my name is Judy Olano and I welcome you to another scintillating edition of the program, Sport Exchange. Yes, it is all about sport business. And today we will be staying on the continent of Africa. And we'll be talking about the Confederation of African Football. We'll be talking about the administration of that body. And also maybe the politicking going on there, as well as the television rights crisis that engulfed football on the continent. These are some of the things we'll be looking at on the show today, and we will be serving you some of the hottest story as far as sport business is concerned as well. Don't forget you can join us via our Facebook page as well as our Twitter handle. Our social media platforms are active and they are lively. So just stay there, follow us on Twitter, and you can like our Facebook page. Once again, it is Sport Exchange, and I'm your host, Judy Olano. We're going to a short break, and when we come back, we will be going straight to Kenya, where our first guest is standing by. All right, you're welcome back. It's still Sport Exchange, and we move straight to our first dugout segment for today. Like I said, it's going to be all about African football. His ascension to the throne was orchestrated by some revolutionaries who felt the need for a change in football, in African football administration. The change of guard saw an end to Issa Hayatu's 28 years rule, and just a few years down the line, things were falling apart and the center could not hold. And now the news getting to us is that the president of CAF, Ahmad Hamad, has been banned by the World Football Governing Body. This is one of the issues we'll be looking at today. And joining me to look at that is a sport journalist from Kenya, Francis Geto. Francis Geto, thanks for joining me on Sport Exchange today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for hosting me. Thank you for having me.
All right. Francis, let me ask you, concerning Ahmad Ahmad's latest ordeal, did it come to you as a surprise?
No, it wasn't a surprise. In fact, it was 18 months late, because last year between February and March, the former Secretary General of CAF, the late Amr Fahmy, rest in peace, he had submitted a dossier regarding ethical malpractices and financial, corruption ongoing since Ahmad got into office. So he had submitted it to the FIFA Ethics Committee, and this was too late. That's why the news has not been embraced with a lot of optimism, because everyone is asking, why are you doing it now instead of 18 months ago, when you initially were served with the dossier, with the information?
Why did you think it was coming late? Do you have an inkling into why you feel that CAF is doing this at this time, or FIFA rather?
No, yes. FIFA is, first of all, they are trying to manipulate the forthcoming CAF presidential elections, and they want to, they want to have a say because they want to continue managing CAF affairs like they did between August and January of last year and early this year. So they intentionally staged this particular suspension, I think, to isolate and to eliminate Ahmad from, because he had already submitted his candidature. So they wanted to eliminate him from the race so that they can leave the candidates who they think will be adaptable to their agenda. And their main agenda is they want to come back and continue running CAF and signing, engaging in the commercialization of our TV rights That is their main objective, and that's why they did this now and not then.
But that is also, by going by what you just said, that is also corruption that they are nailing Ahmad for, if that is the reason they want to come back.
Exactly. FIFA has turned out to be the most corrupt institution. They are the weak link in the entire football corruption chain. They are the ones who have enabled Ahmad to stay that long. Remember, in June, concurrent with the Women's World Cup in France, he was arrested and stayed for 24 hours in police custody in France because of corruption, because one of the companies that they were doing money laundering with is a French company called Tactical Steel. So the French police had jurisdiction and still have jurisdiction over that particular matter, which regards to the supply of footballs and other technical equipment. So FIFA, technically, yes, they are the corrupt ones. They are the ones who have maintained Ahmad in office, and now they're just getting rid of him because they want to put somebody else to replace him and continue with the same corrupt practices.
How do we bust their bubble now? This is our job as journalists. How do we bust their bubble to make sure that we have someone that will not play ball?
Number one is there's some optimistic developments going on in Switzerland, where the country's federal parliament had appointed an extraordinary prosecutor to investigate the underhand dealings between FIFA President Gianni Infantino and the former Swiss Attorney General called Michael Lauber. The case is still ongoing. I think the extraordinary prosecutor is called Stefan Keller. If he finds a case, he already has 5 solid complaints. If he finds a case which merits his attention, he's going to immediately arrest and charge Gianni Infantino, and by then he won't be able to continue serving as FIFA president. So in this particular case, I don't think we are going to have any kind of progress, any kind of reforms in CAF when Gianni Infantino and his coterie of groupies, including Fatma Samura, Veron Mosengo Omba, all of them have maintained the corrupt structure of African football, and we cannot have any form of reforms or progress when that particular trio or quartet of individuals is still running football in Zurich.
So for you, Francis, you don't see any light at the end of the tunnel with the likes of Matrice Mosembe, Jack Anuma, and the rest of the guys that are also there, that wants to be the next CAF president, right?
Yes. Right now, the only independent candidate is Jack Anuma. He's not intertwined with the corruption that has been manifesting from Zurich. Everyone else is one way or another linked to Gianni Infantino, however independent they may be. Patrice Motsepe is a new candidate. We know him is independent. He's a billionaire, but his entry point still remains Gianni Infantino, and we cannot ignore or bury our heads under the sun to act that there won't be any meddling. So Gianni and FIFA want a president who will allow them to send Fatma Samura back to come and act as the Secretary General, which us as Africa we think is a form of recolonizing football. They are taking over our football without our authority. They are what can you say? They are blackmailing FA presidents around the continent to toe the line and to vote the way they want. So there is no light at the end of the tunnel anytime soon.
All right. Lastly, before I let you go, what is the future of football administration in Africa, the way things are right now? Because, like you said, right now we're experiencing TV blackouts, the African qualifiers we can't watch, and all that. So many things going on. What is the future for African football now?
I think right now, as Africans, even as citizens, you have to stand up and call out your federations who are part of this corruption and rot and malaise coming from Switzerland. You will see that Ahmad was partly banned because of, amongst the other issues, was taking a group of 21 FA presidents to Mecca for Umrah. they used $700,000 of CAF money to go for what is a personal spiritual journey for anyone. So if you have an already majority lot of 21 FA presidents who are already facing the ban themselves, that means we need to overhaul. We need all the FA presidents to be overhauled, because right now, anyone who is telling you about Gianni Infantino is literally endorsing and embracing corruption. So the only way right now, and what I would tell everyone, and the message all the journalists and the media should be carrying, is that we need to overhaul the entire leadership structure of CAF, because these guys, they are voting in a crazy way. They've stayed for the last 3 years without demanding audited reports from CAF during the General Assembly. They've just been endorsing, like a country like Sierra Leone has not had elections for the last 3 years, and they still have the same football officials without any form of election or democracy. So this is a rotten institution. We are hoping that extraordinary prosecutor Stephen Keller will really rain down on these guys, so that we can be given a chance to reform and to overhaul and to rebuild.
All right. Well, that is quite revealing. I must say thank you very much, Francis Gato, all the way from Kenya, for joining me on Sport Exchange today. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting me. Thank you.
All right. That was Francis Gato, sport journalist from Kenya, talking about the president of CAF, Confederation of African Football, CAF banned by the World Football Governing Body, that is FIFA. So that is it. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back to, the program continues.
Fantastically finished.
Welcome back. Now I'll take you straight to the news segment. Nigeria Football Federation has signed a partnership agreement with GAC Motors, making them the official automobile partner of the federation. The deal, which is described as one of the highest in value by the NFF in recent times, will last for 3 years. As part of the deal, the president of the NFF, Amaju Pinnick, Super Eagles coach Gernot Rohr, NFF's technical director Austin Eguavoin, and NFF General Secretary Sanusi Muhammad will all be given new official cars. And we go straight to FIFA, where we go to CAF rather. Confederation of African Football President Ahmad Ahmad has been banned for 5 years by FIFA for breaching various codes of ethics. Ahmad, who is also vice president of FIFA, has been found to have breached codes relating to duty of loyalty, offering and accepting gifts, abuse of position, and misuse of funds. He has also been fined $200,000. This development is a setback for his re-election into CAF, as the body had fixed March 2021 for election into the Executive Committee of the African Football Governing Body. And to FIFA, fans will be able to see exactly how much agents earn from transfer deals when a raft of new FIFA regulation come into force next year. Football World Governing Body has admitted it was a mistake by the old FIFA regime to deregulate agents in 2015 and is starting its third and final consultation process on new reforms that will be put to a vote at the FIFA Council between March and June next year, with a view to being introduced the following September. The rules will eliminate triple representation, whereby the same agent represents the player, the buyer, and the seller. And off we go to Portugal. An investigation into fraud, corruption, and money laundering has seen Portuguese authorities raided the offices of soccer clubs Benfica, Sporting Lisbon, and Santa Clara. All three clubs confirmed the searches and said they were collaborating with authorities. Some homes and 2 law firms also were raided by authorities. Part of the investigation is related to the transfer of players. Sporting said in a statement the investigation is related to alleged irregularities from 2011 to 2014. It congratulated the authorities' efforts to promote transparency in Portuguese soccer. Adidas has brought in investment bank and financial services firm JP Morgan Chase to assist with a potential sale of its Reebok brand, according to the New York Times. Reports that the German sportswear giant was considering a sale of Reebok, which it acquired for $3.8 billion in 2005. First emerged last month, private equity firms Permira and Triton have been linked with an agreement and were said to be in the early exploratory stages of a potential deal, according to the Financial Times, which added that there were no certainty that an offer from either firm will materialize. And lastly, let's take you through something that is happening in DAZN, where lovers of boxing in Nigeria are in for the best of time as DAZN, the leading global sports streaming service, will expand to more than 200 countries and territories beginning on December 1. The platform will debut back-to-back weekends featuring boxing events with international appeal. On Saturday, December 5, budding lightweight American star Ryan Garcia takes on the battle-tested Brit and 2012 Olympic gold medalist Luke Campbell, while the unified heavyweight fight between world champion Anthony Joshua and mandatory challenger Kubrat Pulev of Bulgaria will be streamed on the 12th of December. That's it for the news segment. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll be going straight to our second interview on the Dugouts segment.
Fantastically finished.
Welcome back. It's still Sport Exchange, and don't forget our Facebook page. You can go like and you can follow us on Twitter. My name is Jude Olano, and right now we are going to be taking our next guest. And why are we taking our next guest? At a time the football world is looking or taking respite in the fact that there is money to be made from broadcast rights. On the continent of Africa, it's a different ballgame, as it appears it is all blackouts when you consider what is happening to football on the continent. Just a few weeks back, we had the African Cup of Nations qualifiers, and most of those games were not on TV. Joining me now is sport business enthusiast Arome Okpanachi. Arome, it's a pleasure to have you on the show today. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks for having me on, Jude. Thanks a lot. Thanks. I'm happy to be here.
All right. Arome, let's talk about the TV blackout on the continent of Africa now. Talking about the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. We noticed that we couldn't watch most of those games on TV. What do you think is wrong?
Genesis of the problem, I guess, is leadership of CAF leadership, and the fallout of that problem. It spills onto other aspects, like the agreement they had. Apparently, the deal was signed under Issa Hayatu's time, but Ahmad couldn't change that. He's had like a full term, going for a second term, and he still couldn't solve that problem. So it's a problem of the agreement with the company, the initial company, and that's where we are right now. So the young deal off. So the young deal off, and we're still, so there was no remedy to that. They pulled the deal, and there's no remedy to that. So because of that, but Canal Plus shows the games, some games, but not Champions League games. Maybe on some other different channels, but not on the Africa, not on the regular multi-choice and DSTV bouquets. because I'm actually subscribed to an extra, the French Plus. It's an added bouquet to DSTV, and it's not there. There are games for qualifiers, AFCON qualifiers, but no games for CAF Champions League, and it's a problem. So that's where we are right now. So the problem
that means that we'll be losing the continent. Talking about the body now, CAF will be losing money.
Yes.
And you know they need money for all their competitions and to run that that body.
Broadcast rights are the major source of revenue for rights holders. So if you lose that, you've lost everything, because everything else comes from there. Viewers want to see passionate stadia and fans and exciting football. So without broadcast deals, you're playing in the darkness. There's nothing. No one can see you play. So it's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. People are losing money. Rights holders are losing money. Sponsors are losing money. Businesses that could have benefited from that broadcast deal are losing money. So it's a huge loss. At this point in time, I don't even think we can quantify in value, in monetary value, what the loss is. It's humongous. It's really humongous. And it's a shame.
Of course, what's the essence of property that the people who own the property cannot watch? The CAF Champions League will be coming up, and some other tournaments, but Africans who own the game can't watch. What's the essence?
Can't watch it. It's pointless, because we can easily turn our channels. Whatever you want to turn to, you can watch the European Champions League. There are games tonight. We're going to watch those, either online or on. You can watch everything, but our own football, we can't. So it's a problem of, in my opinion, it's a problem of leadership and value. We value the wrong things, and we focus on the wrong things. So we need to get our act right and focus on getting our games back in order. Not just broadcasting, but the actual game itself. We need to value excellence. We need to value quality. And if we don't place value on those things, we'll keep ending up in cases, in situations like the one we're finding ourselves in right now. So it's terrible. It's terrible. And coupled with the fact that we have Champions League final, big Champions League final in a couple of days, and we can't watch that. And in the same week, president of the federation, or the confederation, has been banned for 5 years. So we're in a mess. It's a mess.
Let's just, I want to give you time to just imagine this and see if there is a way out. The Africa Cup of Nations is slated for next year. If it's not on TV, do you think the big boys will want to play in it?
Oh, you mean, when you say the big boys, who do you mean? You mean the countries?
I'm talking about the players now. For example, if Egypt qualify and it's not going to be on TV, would Mo Salah want to play? Or
no, it will be on TV. They're like, as I said earlier, Canal Plus, the broadcasters, they're showing qualifiers. They're showing the CAF Champions League. They're going to show that. Our issue right now is they're showing the AFCON. Mm-hmm. They will show the AFCON, but how far it will reach, because broadcast in Africa is split along the lines of regions. And same thing with broadcast rights. They are sold according to regions. Mm-hmm. And Africa was split along two lines. Was split along the Anglophone and the Francophone. Mm-hmm. So but on the Francophone side, it's covered. The Anglophone, I'm not sure what the multi-choice might do. They might pull something off, because it's a lot of money to get. And for them, it's an advantage. You're showing your own continent's major tournament. So they might work something out with those that have the rights. Some have the rights. It's just to get those rights from them now. And then it's going to be an impromptu, like how do I phrase this? It's going to be a quick fix. It's a short period of time from when the deal with the previous company was terminated till when the tournament starts. So they have a short window frame to actually just make something happen. They might lose money. They had paid some money already. Monsters had paid some money, so they might lose some money. But if you can have football on TV, then you can work something out for the future. So for now, it'll be like a quick fix to just get the games on TV, and then later on we can work on something more solid. Once things are more stable as regards the leadership vacuum right now by Ahmad's suspension and when tournament starts. So there's still hope for us to watch the games on TV.
All right. Before I let you go, beyond this quick fix that you are suggesting, what is the way forward to make sure that we get things right?
Leadership. There's no question about it. Leadership is the main thing. We need to get good leadership in CAF. And leadership ensures that there's a structure. So even if there's no person at the top, the structure is in place. So no matter what happens, it's a scandal, as we have right now, and then someone is suspended or banned, the game still go on. The work continues. Whoever is in charge continues. There's a process. There's a system. That's what we need. We need sound systems. Same thing with Africa. Sorry to expand on this. Africa has a problem when it comes to leadership. So this goes beyond football. It's a continental thing. We need to fix our continent. Because CAF, for example, now, okay, as the games are being broadcast, how do fans move? Logistics is a problem. Flights, getting flights from Lagos to Abidjan, from Lagos to somewhere in Cameroon. It's very difficult moving around. So besides football is a subset of the ecosystem. The ecosystem is the continent itself. So we need to get our continent right. We need to get economies right. All the major countries' economies should be right. Infrastructure should be put in place. Transportation, logistics. These are the things that make a tournament blossom. So if we don't have these things, so even if we have broadcast rights, it's still the same problems we face. If fans want to travel you can't go by train to somewhere nearby in Africa. It's almost impossible. In some cases, it's easier moving from Africa to Europe than moving within Africa. So those are the issues. The issue goes beyond football. It's a leadership thing.
All right. Thank you very much, Arome Okpanachi, sport business enthusiast, for joining me on the show. We really appreciate your insight. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Nice to be here. Thank you.
All right. Let's just go on a break. When we come back, it will be time for me to take the offside, and I'll sign off with that.
Fantastically finished.
Okay, our offside today focuses on how Nigeria professional football clubs pay little or no attention to branding. In this picture on your screen, Sunday Adetunji is seen wearing the old jersey of ex-Plateau United forward Omoyele Tosin, now with Enyimba FC during a pre-season tournament game between Plateau United and Enyimba FC. Coincidentally, Tosin Omoyele also played for Enyimba in this match, and Adetunji used his old jersey. What a branding gaffe, but by a club representing Nigeria in the prestigious CAF Champions League. On that note, I just want to say thank you for joining me. This is where the cookie crumbles. On behalf of every member of the production team, it's peace, and I'm out.